She stepped into the dealership to buy a car, only to be told she didn't belong. The next day, her husband's Rolls-Royce Phantom rolled up out front, a gleaming statement that turned heads and flipped the script. Pam Bondi hadn't set out to steal the spotlight, not like that. It was a Tuesday in Miami, the air warm and restless, the kind of day that begged for a leisurely drive along the coast. Dressed in a cream blazer and a pale blue blouse, understated yet sharp, her heels tapped a quiet rhythm as she crossed the threshold of one of the city's ritziest car dealerships, nestled between a sleek furniture gallery and a chic espresso haunt. No entourage, no fanfare, just her. She wasn't there for the hard sell or a lecture on engine specs. She'd done her homework. What she wanted was a discreet ally to craft a custom birthday surprise for her husband, Greg, a man of few words who came alive behind the wheel of anything bold, timeless, and fiercely American. She lingered by a black Bentley on a sleek pedestal, her phone humming in her pocket, ignored, when a young receptionist glanced up, hesitated, then murmured into a slim phone, too soft to catch. Pam barely registered it, her fingers tracing the Bentley's leather stitching, picturing Greg's grin when he'd see his gift. Then came the footsteps. "Ma'am, can I help you with something?" The voice was young, male, clipped, yet courteous. She turned. "Yes, actually. I'd like to discuss a custom order. I saw your Phantom options online. Something special. For my husband's birthday." His response cut her off mid-breath. "I know who you are." She froze, sizing him up. Late 20s, hair buzzed tight, navy polo stitched with the dealership logo. His eyes had hardened, the polite mask slipping. "Excuse me?" she said, steady but wary. He leaned closer, voice dropping. "You're Pam Bondi, right? From Florida. Trump's legal team." She gave a slow nod. "I'm sorry, but we reserve the right to refuse service. This dealership has a culture, standards. We value inclusion, tolerance, diversity." Pam tilted her head. "And how exactly does that exclude me?" He didn't waver. "Some of your affiliations don't match our values. Clients have felt uneasy when certain political figures show up. We're just keeping this a safe space." Safe space? Pam blinked, more stunned than furious. It felt surreal, like a rehearsed speech delivered without conviction, but he meant it. "So I'm not welcome here?" she asked. "We'd prefer you take your business elsewhere," he replied. Heads turned, whispers rippled, but no one spoke. The silence crackled. Pam scanned the room, lips tightening. She didn't snap, didn't argue, just gave a single soft nod, turned and walked out, heels whispering against marble. Outside, the Miami humidity hugged her, but her composure held. She pulled out her phone, slid into her car, and drove off. No tears, no rants. What she didn't know? Greg was already plotting a move that would flip the day upside down. Their home sat just beyond Coral Gables, framed by swaying palms, all wide windows and echoing floors. Greg was in the kitchen, sleeves rolled up, pouring iced tea, a man who stayed cool unless a game was tight or a car jack wobbled. Pam dropped her bag by the door. "You're back early," he said, not turning. She paused, slipped off her shoes, and stepped in. "Yeah, change of plans." He faced her, catching the shift in her voice. "What happened?" Leaning against the counter, she let it spill, every word, every glance, the phrases still sharp. Specific culture, safe, space, client's discomfort. Greg listened, still as granite, his grip tightening on the glass. When she finished, he stared at the counter, then asked, "You get his name?" "No tag, tall, young, maybe 28. "He yell?" "No, kept it low like it was noble." Greg nodded. "Good. Makes it cleaner." She raised a brow. "Cleaner?" He was already moving, grabbing his phone. "Greg, don't make this a thing." "I won't," he said, glancing back. "But I'm not letting some kid with a lanyard and a chip on his shoulder treat you like you crashed his private club." Pam smirked faintly. "I can handle myself." "You did," he said. "You walked out with dignity, more than most could pull off." He dialed, speaker on. Maxwell Imports, this is Devon. Devon, it's Greg Bondi. The broker's tone lit up. Greg, been a while. Still loving that ghost I hooked you up with? Like new. Listen, I need a Phantom, fully custom, in Miami by tomorrow afternoon. A beat. Tomorrow, Greg, Tell the factory I'll pay to rush it. Obsidian black, caramel leather, walnut inlays, lambswool mats, full rear comfort. My wife likes her legroom. Devon whistled. You're serious. Dead serious. Anything else? Greg eyed Pam. Deliver it straight to Palmetto. Lux Motors on Miracle Mile. Right off the truck, front and center, get it recorded. Devon chuckled. I see where this is going. Done. Greg hung up, pocketing the phone. Pam crossed her arms. You're making a scene. No, he said, stepping onto the patio. I'm making a point. She followed, half amused, half curious. $500,000 to school a kid who probably can't spell amortization? Greg shrugged. Not for him. The poolside air carried hints of chlorine and jasmine. Pam stood there, arms still folded, torn between a laugh and an eye roll. But she got it. This wasn't spite. It was pride. And by the next day, Miami wouldn't be the only place watching. Morning broke soft, coffee cups clinking in the kitchen. Pam scrolled emails at the breakfast bar. Her phone stayed quiet, no buzz, just how she liked it. Greg had left for a meeting, but not before scribbling a note. Let them show who they are. We'll show them who we are. Gee, she smiled, tucking it into her wallet. Pam was no stranger to labels, hero, villain, punchline. It shifted with the headlines. But this? This was casual dismissal, a judgment before she'd even spoken, and it stung deep. The clock hit 11:01 a.m. A text from Greg. Check Palmetto Lux's Instagram in 5. Frowning, she opened the app. Showroom glam, promo posts. Then a live feed pulsed. The video wobbled, shot by a staffer outside the glass doors. A truck, eased up, flanked by confused employees. One face stood out, the young manager from yesterday. Comments flew. Why the front? Is that a Phantom? Who's it for? The truck's back hissed open and out rolled a jet black Rolls-Royce Phantom, gleaming like liquid midnight. No tags, just a plate and a windshield note. For Mr. Greg Bondi, paid in full. No speech, no fuss, just delivery. The camera caught. The manager, pale and wordless as a co-worker, whispered something. A silver sedan pulled up. Greg stepped out. Dark jacket, sunglasses, all calm swagger. He slid into the Phantom, adjusted the seat like it was routine. The manager approached, fumbling. You here to see someone? Greg tweaked the mirror. No, just here to remind you who you turned away. The feed cut. Pam stared, speechless, as her phone erupted. Texts from friends, law school pals, even reporters. Was that Greg? They kicked you out? It's viral. She set it down, sipped her coffee, and gazed outside. Greg rolled in 2 hours later, keys clinking on the counter. Point made? She asked. He grinned. They made theirs dismissing you. I just answered. Neither foresaw the wildfire that clip would ignite online. By afternoon, it was everywhere. Twitter, Reddit, memes galore. The dealership went dark, deleting the live, but copies spread like sparks. A blogger dubbed it, Miami dealer ditches conservative, gets Phantom slapped. Inside Palmetto Lux, the vibe soured fast. Aiden Brody, the young manager, paced his office, rattled. He'd freelanced that speech. No company playbook backed him. A senior exec chewed him out over speakerphone. You spoke for us? Now we're trending for idiocy. He stammered. I didn't know her husband would drop a $500,000 Mayurs flex. Neither did we, she snapped, hanging up. Staff whispered. Customers gawked at the Phantom parked across the street, untouched since delivery. Aiden drafted apologies, then scrapped them, sinking into his chair. Across town, Pam and Greg unwound on their patio. I should have seen it coming, she said. I'm a lightning rod. Greg leaned back. It's not about that. A kid in a logo shirt doesn't get to play bouncer because he's got a hunch. She swirled her glass. Still, this feels small time. Small time's getting shamed for breathing, he countered. News nibbled at the edges, reporters sniffed, bloggers spun biased tales. Pam dodged it all. Greg's gesture wasn't payback, it was a shield, a quiet "I've got you." That night he texted Devon. Delivery was perfect. No PR, just us. Devon replied, "It's blowing up anyway." The public picked sides, and something bigger brewed. Next day, Palmetto Lux buzzed, not with buyers, but gawkers. Two guys in cargo shorts asked, "Where's the Phantom?" "Moved," the receptionist said. "Shame," they muttered, leaving. Aiden spiraled as corporate emails screamed liability and discrimination. Trent, the GM, cornered him. "What did you say to her?" "That her presence might bug clients." Trent's arms crossed. "You tanked us with that." Customers bailed, deliveries stalled. Meanwhile, Pam met Marta, a retired judge, over coffee in a Bayview office. "You responding?" Marta asked. "No, they'll write the story without me." Marta nodded. "You've always played the long game." That night, a local station aired. Did politics ban Bondi? Complete with dramatic Phantom footage. Trent rallied staff. "We sell cars, not agendas." Too late. 3 days later, Pam trended again. A witness, Karen Finley, posted in a private group. "I was there. She didn't fight, just left. Wish I'd spoken up." It exploded, shared thousands of times, fueling a saga of quiet dignity. TikToks racked up millions, brands pitched deals, Pam waved them off. At Palmetto Lux, corporate put Aiden on leave. "I messed up," he said, "but this is political blowback. You torched our image." They shot back. Customers thinned. The Phantom sat under a cover at home, a gleaming legend. On Thursday, a national news show framed it. When an AG's denied, dignity rolls in. Commentators praised the restraint. Pam watched, unfazed. Greg smirked. "Weird seeing our life as a drama?" "I've seen weirder," she quipped. The dealership's limp apology flopped. Aiden got reassigned. Pam stayed silent, letting the world talk. She didn't need the stage. Her walkout and Greg's reply said plenty. The clip endured not as vengeance, but as poise in motion. A lesson in carrying yourself when the room turns cold. Share this if it hits you. Sub up for more stories of grit in the clutch.